In this video, we'll take a overview look at Adobe XD. Adobe XD is an application for designing interfaces, for designing websites, for designing mobile apps, and it's a powerful application for doing that because of the feature sets that are built into it. So looking at the interface here, we can see I have open a material design theme, and you'll see that it has several artboards, much like Illustrator has artboards. Adobe XD has artboards, and there are several artboards to look at here. You'll see on the left-hand side we have some panels, and on the right-hand side we have an inspector. So over on the left-hand side, the very left-hand side, we have a set of tools. So the first tool is a selection tool for selecting items. I can select anything that's on any of these artboards. And then we have creation tools. We have a rectangle tool, we have a ellipse tool, polygon tool, a line tool, and even a pen tool. A pen tool works very similar to the way pen tools work in Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. And the reason why we have a pen tool here is because you can create your own custom icons inside of XD. And then we have a type tool, which is really handy. And then we have an artboard tool and then a zoom tool. Through keyboard shortcuts, you won't need this zoom tool too much. For example, if you hold down the Option key and you use your wheel mouse on your mouse, you can zoom in really quick. Holding down the space bar will give you the hand tool, and then you can move around on the screen real quick. Some other keyboard shortcuts would be Command 0. Command 0 would zoom out so you can see all of your artboards. And Command 1 will bring you in really, really close to wherever your cursor was. And then Command 3 will bring you to 100%. So I'll go back to Command 0. And then if I put my cursor here and hitting Command 3, I can zoom in just to that particular artboard. So those are some quick keyboard shortcuts for working with zooming in, zooming out, and moving around the artboards in XD. Over underneath this strip at the bottom, what we're seeing here, this first item is called document assets or libraries. So the document assets are broken up into several categories. If I collapse the categories, you'll see what the categories are. There's colors, character styles, and components. These can be built over time, or you can select an entire artboard, click the plus button, and it'll build those particular assets for you. So if you look here at colors, these are all the colors that are in all the artboards that are here. And then if we look at type character styles, these are all the character styles, all the different levels, and these can be named. And then also all the different components. And the component, we'll talk about that more in a later video. The next item at the bottom here is layers. And if I click on layers, these are all the layers that are in this particular artboard. So there's a bunch of different groups. So much like Illustrator has layers and Photoshop has layers, every time you add an item to the artboard, you'll get another layer. And then the last item on the bottom here is plugins. So through XD and Adobe, you can get plugins to do different things like get icons or polygons or image finders and things like that. So there's various plugins. There's a plugin menu up here. And you can browse plugins, you can manage plugins. There's also a way to get new plugins from the Adobe website. So that's the plugin manager. And next, over on the right-hand side, we have the context-sensitive panel. So if I click anything on this artboard, you'll see that this particular item is a component. And you see that I have some alignment options here. There's some grouping options and send forward, send back. I can convert this into a component. It already is a component here. Transformation options, width, height, X location, Y location. There's some responsive size options. There's some appearance options for the fill, the border, the opacity, some stroke options. Right, so it all depends on what you select. So if I select some text here, you can see I have a text selector. I can change the style of the text, the size of the text, the line height. any kind of options for all caps or small caps. All those options for text are right here. So you're going to keep an eye on this as you work inside of XD. Up in the top right hand corner, there's an option here. The first option is to invite people to the document. So if somebody else has Adobe and they're working in Adobe XD, you're working on a team, you can invite people to this particular document. And once you do that, they can collaborate with you on the document and they can work together simultaneously. This next option is to preview your document inside of an actual mobile device. So there's a download that you have to make on the App Store in either Android or iOS, and you can download an app that'll allow you to preview your XD documents. And then we have this option here, which allows you to preview what you're doing inside of an actual browser window. So that'll come in handy as we move forward. I'm going to go ahead and close that. And then we have a zoom size. We can change the zoom size. We'll get more into the details of Adobe XD. This is just an overview for right now. If you need any help for Adobe, you can go to the Help menu down to Learn XD. There's a user guide, and those are the two main places that you would go to get help for Adobe XD as you're working on it. All right.